Yo guys, today we're going to watch episode 4 reaction analysis of ReZero season 4 from Echidnut obviously. So yeah, let's watch this.
What up, weebs? Happy ReZero Day. This episode was awesome for me, but pretty confusing for my roommate who's an anime only, so if anyone else didn't quite understand what happened, I can try to spell it out for you. First of all, this absolute baddie Shala, who we thought was the sage, actually thinks that Subaru is the sage. So we're kinda screwed, because our goal was to come here and meet the sage so that she could wake up Ren,
Yeah.
but it turns out that the sage is
retarded.
Anastasia shows us what the sage looks like on the coins, and it clearly doesn't look anything like Shala. It also doesn't really look like Subaru either, so the reason Shala thinks the sage is Subaru is because of his smell. We've known since season 1 that Subaru has the witch's scent, so the implication is that this Flugel person must also have had a similar connection with Satella. Shala also says a few English words this episode, for example, no problem, or if you're watching the English dub, she says no problemo. The point being, English and Spanish don't exist in the ReZero world, so it's implied that someone from Earth must have taught those phrases to Shala. Also, the name of the watchtower itself is a reference to a constellation that can be seen from Earth. Pleiades is a constellation known as the Seven Sisters, an obvious reference to the Seven Witches, and also Subaru is another word for Pleiades, except in Japanese, Subaru also means unity. So that's why I think Subaru's destiny in ReZero is to unite the Seven Sisters, and thus I think he will have all 7 witch factors by the end of the story. Anyway, it seems like Shala didn't have many friends because she's been alone for 400 years, although she does mention 2 names. Volcanica, who we know is the Divine Dragon, and Reed Estrella, the Stick Swinger, who was the first Sword Saint. I think it's safe now to show you what Reed used to look like back when he was alive. And remember, Reed is also the name of Reinhardt's dragon sword, so maybe that's what the title Stick Swinger is about? Or maybe Reed was blind and he had to swing around one of those blind people sticks to be able to see where he's going. This episode got me thinking about how bad it would suck to be blind though, because you would completely miss all the Shala jiggle physics. If any blind people are watching this, make sure you hit the like button. I'll try to guide you to it with my voice. It's like right over here on this side of the screen, and if you're on mobile, I think it's like over this way somewhere. Shala also implies that she herself isn't human because she acknowledges that it's normal for a human like Reed to die of old age, even though she clearly hasn't even aged in 400 years. She could be another spirit created by Echidna because we do have confirmation that Echidna was involved with the tower, and locking someone in a library for 400 years is one of Echidna's favorite hobbies, but most of the time her creations look a bit different, and well, Shala's design kinda looks like it was made by one of the boys. I'm not gonna elaborate on that, but whoever gave her this outfit had extremely good taste. Anyway, we keep hearing the name Flugel. In season 2, Betelgeuse says,
I wonder why Flugel gave that clues to her. Like what? Like generally, why did he give that kind of clues to her? Like, is there any other reason?
I'm sorry, Flugel, right before consuming the sloth factor. And we also know Flugel planted the Flugel tree, and even carved his—
Oh yeah, I forgot Betelgeuse said something like that. It's kind of insane because that means that Betelgeuse lived long enough to actually see Flugel or actually heard things from Flugel. And obviously, it's only because he has the ability to. He is like a spirit, right? I think that's what Betelgeuse is. Like he's like a spirit that goes into a human body, and that body is his current vessel right now. I think that's how it works.
Name into it. In this chapter of the light novel, Subaru actually mentions that he also considered carving his name into the tree, and that was just a little bit of cut content, but I thought it was interesting because it's yet another similarity between the two of them. Although it seems pretty out of character for Subaru to order Shala to snipe innocent people and then abandon her alone in the tower for 400 years, that's the only reason I don't think Subaru is Flugel, but I don't know. Some more—
You said it's out of character, but who knows what happened in the past? Like people can so people can change, you know. Like even though they contradict each other, humans in nature does contradict themselves sometimes. Like they sometimes contradict themselves most of the times. That's why human is so unpredictable because they are not consistent with their own action and emotion. And I think and Subaru is one of those style character. Like he's not consistent. Like we have seen many times in season 1. that how his action sometimes is not consistent with his personality sometimes. And sometimes his personality just change. Like that's why Subaru is a very interesting character because of how unique the way he thinks, or how intricate the way they written Subaru.
More cut content from this episode. While they're walking up the stairs, Shala actually reveals the names of all the floors in the tower. Each floor is named after one of the 7 stars in the Pleiades constellation. Asterope is the circular basement floor. Seleno is the empty ground floor with nothing except a large door to the outside. Alcyone is the floor with the green room and the healing spirit, as well as some other rooms, a balcony, and Shala's room. Taigeta is the library floor.
Oh, Shala is here.
That we just unlocked, and then there's 2 floors above that, Electra and Maya. The numbers of the floors are also reversed, almost as if the tower was designed upside down. But anyway, Shala only mentions the names of 6 floors, and according to the Pleiades constellation, there should be a 7th floor called Merope. Subaru knows this because on Earth he had a vast interest in astronomy, and so when he asks about Merope, Shala just kinda shuts up and refuses to talk about it.
Oh.
And that's another classic ReZero mystery. I don't know why they cut that content, maybe they plan on mentioning it in a later episode, but it was part of this chapter in the novel. Speaking of Subaru's knowledge of astronomy though, this trial was complete bullshit. It's an asterism of a constellation that doesn't even exist in the sky of the ReZero.
Yeah, that is bullshit. Even then, no, most human on Earth doesn't even know this shit.
World, and the answer was related to mythology from Earth. The answer being Rigel is also kind of crazy because that's what Subaru names his son.
Oh, I was thinking that too. Holy shit! That was what I'm thinking too. But like, I did mention about Subaru's what I call son and daughter, but I didn't remember their name. That's the problem. I didn't remember their name. But Rigel, for some reason, Rigel, I feel like I heard that name before.
In the sloth if.
Rigel was also different from his father in a lot of ways. For one, he was able to produce a single horn from his forehead, which would gather mana and fill his body with strength, making him feel like he could do anything.
But yeah, to solve this,
Damn, is that old Echidnut when he do if stories?
you not only have to be able to fly, but you also need to be from Earth, and you have to be a fucking astronomy nerd as well. This puzzle was clearly designed only for a very specific person to solve, and obviously whoever designed it had knowledge of our world too.
Wait, the problem is that the fact that we need to fly. That's the problem. Like that, like the more I think of it, does Flugel knew that that he's going to acquire Beatrice for this? Like, jeez.
Library seems like something Echidna would do, and also fun trivia fact about Echidna, she used to live in a... Actually, I'm gonna make this a quiz on the side of the video since YouTube lets me do that now. Think about the answer to that quiz, and then think about when I said it seems like the tower was built from the top down. I'm not saying Echidna built the tower. I feel like sometimes I try to give her credit for things she didn't actually do, but at the very least, I think she was involved. I also want to talk about that opening scene.
The opening scene. Let me. I want to know this.
With Regulus and Betelgeuse. This wasn't just an ordinary dream. It's actually a real dimension called Satella's Shadow Garden.
Oh.
In the novel, Subaru goes here sometimes after he dies, and then
Oh, so this is where he goes when he dies.
Satella typically shows up and love bombs him with
That body.
Riz until he wakes up and immediately forgets all about it. Until this episode though, it's mostly been cut content. We did get a brief glimpse at it in season 1 when Betelgeuse possessed
Oh, this is also one of them? Damn, I didn't know it was also the garden.
Subaru's body and gets rejected by Satella, but other than that, it's just been entirely cut content, and even the scene this episode had some cut content as well. The really interesting thing in the novel version of this scene was how deeply in love with Satella Subaru was.
Oh, really?
Fucking pray this kind of shit
There was an unbearable and ended passion at the core of his consciousness, or perhaps within the formation of his consciousness is no more, so it was dear love direction it ended.
But it says there was an unbearable, unending passion at the core of his consciousness, or perhaps within the formation of his consciousness itself. No, more so it was dear love, adoration, deep, unconditional.
Dude, oh my god, ReZero Mystery is so interesting.
Love. I got no bitches right now, but even if I did, I don't think I could ever love someone that much. I mean, the emotion Subaru felt in this dimension was beyond love. It was like cosmic soul bonding or some shit.
Cosmic soul bonding.
And that bondage was unbreakable. Anyway, I don't know if this is true or not, and I haven't had the time to research it, but I bet Subaru goes here literally every time he dies. Like,
Yeah, I think so though. If that's the case, like, doesn't the way the looping work? Like, I don't know if I heard it correctly, but the way the looping works in ReZero is that after Subaru dies, the world got destroyed. I think the world will get destroyed by Satella. I don't know how it works, but the world will be destroyed and then will be recreate anew into a certain checkpoint. And I would assume the settler puts the soul of what you call Subaru on a different dimension while she is recreating the world again. I don't think that's because I don't think alternate timelines exist. Like for now, I don't think there is the existence of alternate timeline, because if alternate timelines do exist, I don't know. Like I don't think alternate timeline exists. That's all I want to. That's what I think.
from our perspective, he might get his head blown off, and then a second later, he's immediately back at his respawn point. But if my theory is correct, I think he goes to the Shadow Garden first, and they just haven't been showing it to us. He also never has any recollection of going there, so it could be happening literally every death, and the only reason we don't know about it is because they skip it most of the time. So I actually don't think Return by Death is automatic anymore. After Subaru dies, I think he goes to the Shadow Garden, and Satella has to find him there, and then manually use Return by Death on him, but because they don't always show that part, to us it looks like he just respawns automatically. This episode was a 10 out of 10. It was a great episode for the material it was given to adapt. Honestly, this will probably be the weakest episode of the season other than episode 1, but it was nice that we can finally start gooning Nishala, and it's honestly crazy to me that this season of ReZero is actually being adapted. Like, I remember back to when I first started my YouTube channel, that was when this arc was being written, and I would make these really shitty chapter summaries using Google Translate because I didn't know DeepL was a thing. And then this Reddit moderator accused me of stealing his translations, and a lot of people believed it. It was good times. This season...
Okay, that's kind of funny. Bro is using Google Translate and then get blamed for and then getting blamed.
really takes me back to the early days, and it's just surreal to finally be watching it. So far, I've been super impressed with this adaptation, and I can't wait for it to get crazy. I think after this week, that's when the roller coaster really begins, so I hope you guys are ready.
Ooh.
Anyway, thanks for
Next week is going to be a roller coaster. Oh man, I cannot wait. But yeah, that's the episode.
watching.
Right?
Keep talking about ReZero. I'm out for now. Peace.
Okay, that's the episode. Interesting. There isn't much that it doesn't really. I need to watch any news then. Any news fast. Like the only thing new is about the tower, where there's a quiz, right? Where's the quiz? Where the hell is the quiz? Where is it? This one. Okay, let's take the quiz. Where did Ian used to live? I actually don't know. Is it okay? I guess. Sure. Echidnut owned many different mansions, and one of it was a castle floating island that she created with magic. Okay. I don't know why. What? Like I thought that it was a floating castle as well, but the Fleet's watchtower putting there, and then it is about the Fleet's watchtower. I thought that that's the answer. But yeah, interesting that the stars is based on Subaru, right? Yeah, the Pleiades is based on the Pleiades constellation cluster, based on the stars of each star, right? Interesting. Damn. The fact that Flugel name all the stars and even make the what you call it, the puzzle based on stars, like it kinda like the obsession with stars, and the fact that he called this Pleiades tower, like, dude, it's like Flugel is Subaru. Like I know they say it contradicts, but what if it's not a contradiction? Like what if there is an explanation? Like come on, like people can change in the course of many years, and I feel like Subaru can change like that, and the fact that it feels like it's pre-planned. for Subaru to go back here. Like, I feel like it's kind of obvious that Rugal is Subaru, but who knows? Like, there's also the theory that what you call Aldebaran Al is Subaru, but we don't know that either. Like, dude, Subaru is so many people. It's Frugal. Is fucking Al. Like, which one? But yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe and please share the blade to see more of my content. And yeah, peace out.